Come on, kitty. Move your bum.
Let us not hesitate.
I will help where I can.
Ona Arayana. Ona Arayana.
I'll watch your back.
Inimosi Kravisi. Inimosi Kravisi. Inimosi Kravisi.
You can trust me.
Meditate on your mistakes.
You are
Might
my
make you
favorite
feel
aid.
better.
Esmith, Axe, yes. Esmith, Axe, yes.
You require my unbiased opinion?
My will is resolute.
Looks like Hell Knights continue to fight the gargoyles even after from the air. They both fell to the rock and perished. Commander, come here quickly. From the mountain you see a raided camp and two groups of warriors, one wearing white and yellow armor, the other in black. They are led by a tall man in white priest robes. Some of the warriors glance around fretfully, their weapons shaken in their hands. You hear the screams of gargoyles from above. The beasts are approaching the camp.
Quickly, evacuate the wounded. The beasts are about to strike again. Use cloaks as stretchers. We've got to make it through. Paralictor, your people will have to cover us while...
2 more minutes left out in the open, and neither you nor I will have any troops left to order about, Crusader.
But the wounded...
Problem solved. Retreat to shelter.
If the man in the white has anything further to add, his words are drowned out by the shrieks of gargoyles as they fall from the sky. The Paralictor will lead the unit to shelter. We need to get through to them.
Save the last one for me.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
The light take you!
Mind over muscle.
Attack! We shall overcome.
Begone, fiend! You won't survive me.
No glory without risk!
listen to reason.
Do not hold back.
The heartbeat quickens.
Endure this!
You're irrelevant.
Make every strike count!
Into the fray!
Fall!
Strike as one.
Mind over muscle.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
The light! Take you!
I will bring down the divine wrath!
Attack!
I'll remove this obstacle.
The sight before you is at once macabre or picturesque. A lifeless couple, a man and a woman dressed in white and yellow priestess robe, lie on the ground surrounded by the bodies of dead gargoyles. They are tangled in death. The claws of the monsters are tearing at the humans' clothes, and the largest gargoyle's talon has pierced the man's chest and punctured his heart. But before they die, he or his companions defeated the enemy. Suddenly the woman opens her eyes. She doesn't look at you, but stares up at the wood's horrific sky. Her pale lips open and she exhales absurdly. The sun will never rise again. There is only darkness above me. Even the sky here is cursed, and we along with it. Yake, walking in front, steps over the man's body without looking, but turns around at the sound of the woman's voice. The Mendevian faithful break too easily. Who are you? What happened here? I am a priestess of Arden Seren Ray from the Order of the Sunrise Sword. Next to me is Ashus, stranger, the head of our order. Sorrowful pride sounds in the woman's voice. He has led our forces on raids at the Wardwound many times, but this campaign... The gargoyles attacked a few nights ago. A vast number. We've never seen anything like it. Ashen organized our resistance with great skill, but while the monsters were distracting our fighters, a small group of them raided the camp and took our supplies. We were left without food and water in the middle of the Wardwound, where it's nearly impossible to find provisions. We shared the last crumbs of our supplies and set off back the way we came. Everyone was suffering from hunger and thirst. We grew weak and could barely fight back when the gargoyles struck a second time. They snatched many of us away. I saw the pain of Ashu's face as he counted the losses, but he managed to rally us. We continued our trek and soon came across traces of a recent battle. Someone had destroyed a troop of demon worshippers. In our desperation, we decided to follow the strangers, to warn them of the gargoyles and seek their help, having no idea that they were Hell Knights. But we received only scorn. Every gulp of water in my unit is accounted for, they said. They spared us 2 flasks and a sack of dried bread. They said we were allowed to keep the sack to use as bandages. 2 flasks between all of us, a sack for bandages. Hell Knights, Sheila curls her fist among grunting through her clenched teeth. I'd rather ally with a flesh-eating poisonous wyvern. A leader has to take care of their own tribe first. All the scandalized gaps. How could he do such a thing? Suddenly fall away when you are the first faced with the hard choice. Are you going to take food out of your own child's mouth to feed a starving stranger? What happened after that? The gargoyles attacked. Despite how the Hell Knights Paralicta had treated us, Ashes endeavored to help them, and do us carry their wounded, but that monster had them slaughtered. Ashes was beside himself. It's difficult to convince of such evil. It's difficult to conceive such evil. He told our people to go with the Hell Knights to find shelter, while he stayed to cover our retreat. The woman exhaled softly. He was a strong cleric, but as he treated our wounds, he neglected himself, and he paid for it. What a terrible injustice, but alas, all too common. Those who care for others often perish first. That's quite a story. I can't just picture it on the stage of a grand royal theatre, rustling silk, gold adornments, the tragic lead singing the final aria. It is time for me to applaud yet. It's not often that you come across such a hard wrench and theatrical plots outside the stage. Okay, let's step over the wounded woman and walk away. Let's hurry, the gargoyles could return any moment. I knew we can't do anything for her.
We won't fall here. I swear it.
No glory without risk!
You won't survive me.
We shall overcome.
the inheritor. Guide my blade.
Endure this!
Do not hold back. Strike as one.
Na, orma.
Kitties, kitties.
Eternal Rose, I call upon you!
Into the fray.
Make every strike count.
Attack!
You're irrelevant.
Begone, fiend!
Sucker.
No glory without risk.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
We shall overcome.
You should have listened to reason.
Fall!
The light take you.
You won't survive me.
Do not hold back.
I'll remove this obstacle.
I will bring down the divine wrath!
Into the fray.
ready.
I am helpful, am I not?
We march ahead.
It went splendidly.
Demonic energy has polluted the earth, creating tumors filled with poison.
Our path leads on. I will not falter.
Together, we
Our
stand.
time has come.
A bright future awaits us.
Well,
Ona Arayanam.
Inimosi Travisi. Inimosi Travisi.
A goat, a lizard, and a human enter a tavern.
Are we ready
What'll
to
it
move
be,
out?
Lan? The bartender asks.
Na Aeon Orama. Na Aeon Orama.
We are making a mystery of ourselves?
Na Aeon Orama.
Let me help.
I will guide us.
Knight Commander, I presume. Your glory precedes you. I am Reginald de Renge, Paralictor of the Order of the God Claw, and temporary officer of the joint unit of Hell Knights and the Order of the Sunrise Sword. You and your people should take positions. The gargoyles are regrouping. We expect they will attempt to break through in 5 to 6 minutes. Forcibly joined. The leader of the Order of the Sunrise Sword was unable to get to safety, which is not surprising, considering his, shall we say, excessive scrupulousness and sluggishness. Given the extreme situation, I took command of his people.
It's supposed to be good when different people unite. We're here for a common cause. But it still gives me the creeps for some reason. Hell Knights shouldn't be allowed to get their claws into our paladins. It's wrong.
Indeed. The gargoyles were clearly trying to capture as many prisoners as they could. I don't know the reason behind these abductions, but I'm not about to give the enemy what they want. That is why all my people were ordered not to be taken alive. And as for the wounded, we didn't have time to get them to safety anyway.
Can you hear yourself? For the sake of principle, in order not to give the enemy what they want, you killed your own wounded. Helpless subordinates. Why does anyone still follow you?
Because we are Hell Knights. We know our duty.
Only someone who's never been responsible for the lives of others could feel any outrage at this decision. The wounded couldn't be saved. What good would it do to anyone if the rest perished along with them?
Paladins don't trade in lives. They strive to save everyone.
You're right, they don't. They give lives away for absolutely nothing.
I spared them the exact volume of resources I could sacrifice without risking my own people. However, the situation has developed, and I've already ordered they be given additional supplies. They are temporarily under my charge, and I can use their forces to rebuff the attack. They'll work for their water.
I like your approach. It makes sense to make sure your own people have enough resources and then share the remains with everyone else.
I'd say I'm willing to spend resources on those I deem useful. But yes, you described the matter adequately.
Let's get rid of the gargoyles.
Agreed. Be ready, Commander. This attack may be worse than the last one.
Endure this!
No glory without risk!
You're irrelevant.
Strike as one.
Make every strike count.
You should have listened to reason.
Attack!
Eternal Rose, I call upon you! You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
You are nothing before me.
The light, take. Thank you!
Na Aeon Orma.
We shall overcome.
Begone, fiend! You won't survive me.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Arti.
Do not hold back.
Fall! Endure this!
Into the fray!
Arti.
Strike as one.
I will bring down the divine wrath! Make every strike count.
The light take you!
Arti.
Attack! We shall overcome.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel. I've failed you, friends.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Do not hold back. Strike as one.
Whoa, what's happened? What happened? It was fine, 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 and suddenly it was dead.
Knight Commander, I presume.
It's supposed to be...
Big. Oh, you're right.
I spared them. I... Agree.
Save the last one for me.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
No glory without risk!
You won't survive me.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
We shall overcome.
Begone, fiend!
Endure this!
Mind over muscle.
Do not hold back. Take that.
Fall! Make every strike count.
Into the fray!
Go.
Strike as one!
I will bring down the divine wrath!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
You should have listened to reason.
Attack!
You won't survive me.
No glory without risk! Access. Yes.
We shall overcome!
Eternal Rose, I call upon you!
Endure this!
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Do not hold back!
Begone, fiend!
Make every strike count.
The light, take you!
You're irrelevant.
wide open. Strike as one.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Attack! Into the fray!
Mind over muscle.
You won't survive me.
We march ahead.
Reginald gracefully stows his weapon and places his hands behind his back. You two, check the area. Mark any potential shelters that offer protection against aerial attack. Quartermaster, inventory the remnants of the camp. I want to make sure that the gargoyles only abducted people that weren't interested in anything else. Send messages immediately to our scout squads and order them to return to camp. And I need a full list of casualties. The sooner the better. He turns to you and nods slightly. Commander, your arrival was well timed. Now we can finally talk. I am quite interested in the events that occurred at the garrison, and I suppose you have a question for me as well. What do you want to know about what happened at the Grey Garrison? Any shift in the balance of power during this war has a direct impact of my mission. If a new player appears who is capable of fighting demons effectively, then I am ready to support that person with all the resources I have in my disposal. Regulus speaks passively, as if talking to himself. But naturally, I cannot blindly trust a stranger, even one marked by the gods. You have every right to doubt. I surely don't trust strangers either. So we understand each other. Thank you, Commander. Reginald nods more to himself than to you. Is there anything else you'd like to know before we move on now to serious issues? What if I wanted to join the ranks of the Hell Knights? The requirements for the Knights and signifiers are common knowledge, and then must certainly be satisfied. If you do that, the orders will consider your request. The order will consider your request. Any further discussion prior to your completion of the necessary task is pointless. Not even fighter or spellcaster is fit to serve with us. What the hell is it doing here within the borders of the Woodwound? The same as you and your army, fighting the war against the demons. The Hell Knights have always been a part of Crusaders from the very beginning. We're an answer to Queen Galfrey and we act on our own authority, but we serve the common cause. Triscari's spawn have no place in the world we want to build. Reginald backs out the final words. And what does Paralicta mean? I am the commander of this unit, and in the Order's hierarchy I am 2 steps lower than its leader. In the territory of Mendev and the Wardwood there are few who equal my rank, but I am the most senior Hell Knight officer of my leagues around, in many leagues around. What are you going to do now after the Gargoyles attack? I will wait for my remaining fighters to return. What you see here is only a small part of my forces. As for my long-term plans, that depends on the results of our conversation, Commander. Regiel narrows his eyes. Before we move on to serious subjects, I'd like to address an organizational issue regarding my unit. You may wish to be present. Janke steps forward and salutes with a clenched fist to his chest. Paralector, permission to report. During the first gargoyle attack, I determined it necessary to leave my post. I swam over to the river, found the commander army, and asked them to provide assistance. Regiel nods. The reinforcements were much needed. You will earn the double salary for your resourcefulness, Janke, and 100 losses for abandoning your post. The young knight grows a little pale, but immediately salutes again. Yes, Paralector. Don't forget he abandons his armor. You might be right. Regiel doesn't take his eye off the young knight, searching for signs of weakness. Another 10 lashes for improper treatment of Order property. Yes, Paralector. This time Janke doesn't grow pale, but only salutes and clenches his teeth. These guys made of stone of war. They seem creepy, but I kind of like them. Some people have a penchant for whips, but I never thought you'd be one of them. Hasn't nature punished you enough? I'll never understand this pointless cruelty, and I never want to. Regiel, who watches you closely throughout the entire conversation, nods to himself. Now for a more delicate issue. You, Commander, were interested in our dispute with the Knights of the Order of the Sunrise Sword, correct? Their forces in Canabris suffered great losses in the demon attack, and now their leader has perished and his troops are in trouble. They are reeling with no command structure. The Order will hardly be able to recover from the losses they suffered. Why are you getting at? These fighters aren't the finest materials I worked with, but I assume formal command over them. I'll be able to reforge them into weapons of reasonable quality. One of 2 might even become the true Hell Knights. The rest will be put to good use as well. I will support you and recommend that the Knights of the Sunrise Sword fall in under your command, but I will expect your support in return, Paralector. I will gladly give my support to one who can effectively fight the demons, and now let's turn to our orphans. Regiel looks at the warriors in the white and yellow, shifting cherishly from one foot to the other. Initiates of the Sunrise Sword, your leader is dead. The Order has suffered serious losses and will not be able to recover. You may return to Mendev to join another Crusader Order and hope they don't meet the same fate as the Sunrise Sword. Or you may remain under my command. I will not promise that it will be easy or that our war making will be considered by your principles. What I can promise is this: under my command you will never again feel like helpless mice in the talons of a ravenous raptor. Camellia scoffs. He used to people following his orders. Then again, these sniveling cowards are used to humiliating treatment. They won't even consider testing him a little. What would you do in the position? Challenge the gnome in the black to duel and make him prove himself worthy of command? I would never end up in the position. Does that mean we worked off the precious resources you spend on us? The water, medicine and bandages, yells one of the knights in the white and yellow. I wouldn't make such an offer if I thought you were useless garbage. The initiate of the Sunrise Sword consult with each other for a time, and then one of them, a young woman in candy armor, steps forward. Thank you for your trust, Paralector. We will stay and are ready to obey your orders. Fine. In due course, I will review your troops and make any necessary decision regarding your role in my unit. Regiel turns to you. And now, Commander, for the most important issue, cooperation between our forces. We do not have a common enemy and we do have common enemy and common battlefield. You look at me strangely, Paralector. When we discuss Janke punishment and when we decide in the fate of the Sunrise Sword, it's as you tested me. Regiel lowered his head in a gesture that might be read as respectful. I do not believe I made any attempt to conceal my interest in you, both as a new, strong leader in the region and as a bearer of highly unusual power. Of course, I'd like to know what inside your head. One could say that it's my duty. My army and I are going to Dresden to free the city from demons. You can join forces with us. Reginald rubs his chin pensively. Dresden, an ambitious goal, but most reasonable. Imagine how such a victory would rally all the separate bands of today's crusaders under one banner, and we certainly need a base of operation inside the Worldwound. I stand ready to support you. Moreover, I can accompany you in your campaign. However, I would remind you that Hell Knights are outside of Mendev jurisdiction. My unit and I will join your forces and obey your orders, but only for as long as I deem that our goals coincide. Hell no, we don't need the likes of these black armored statues. I don't want to fight side by side with someone who will slit my throat if I'm weak and wounded. You can defeat one evil by inviting an equal but slightly more organized evil into your ranks. Slightly more organized than the demons? I could consider that an insult. I've never dealt with Hell Knights before, but from what I've seen, they are serious fighters. That's just what we need. And I think how that armor will look in the paintings that they will make about our battles. It's a deal. Yes, Commander, my forces and Reginald de Negre are at your disposal. Bye.
You require my counsel? Wise. Should we proceed?
You are my favorite.
Tell me, and I'll do it.
Just a little more.
The goddess protects us.
So we have lawful neutral, lawful good, oh. Lawful evil, lawful neutral, neutral, and neutral god, so he's the only one kind of, but we're not going to be able to get a healer who is lawful at all, so that's fine.
Search for the beauty with your heart, not your eyes.
So can I do with let's
Turinos.
No, I'm gonna have to buy some. Okay.
Should we proceed? You require my counsel. Wise.
The skeleton of a man wearing armor from the time of the First Crusade. It's holding the skeleton of a child with a strange proportion and animal paws instead of its right arm and leg.
We march ahead.
An ugly structure crudely constructed out of branches, rocks, and bones stand here. Beneath it rest offering of some unknown deity, or more likely demon. You can produce some reagent for crafting, because you remember.
Do not fear! Do not waver!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
The light take you!
Begone, fiend!
It seems I've made a mistake.
Our path leads on.
Hello?
Hello.
What's up?
I'm just giving you a call. I'm on my way home now.
Okay.
What time are the film showing?
I didn't look yet. Let's have a look. Why?
We should go sooner rather than later so I don't fall asleep.
Fair enough. Let's have a look. In an hour? 16:45?
Yeah, so what I'll do, I'm on my way home. Oh shit, sorry, another thing I wanted to tell you. I don't know if it's my next pay or the pay after's gonna...
Together we stand. I will guide us.
Oh. My mana's full. Vanished, but we've got some
Without a doubt.
stuff, which is fine. Let's go speak to Regiel. We're gonna skip that conversation. I'm sorry, but I've done it so many times now. It's absolutely...
Forwards.
Sure, let's have a look what we can give him. Can give him the hunt, give him more AC. His heavy armor. Medium light. We take that for the wolf. That's all I can give him really for now. Where's the wolf?
I noticed a small gap in your guard. When you strike to the side, you leave your shoulder open for a counter-strike.
Really? I never noticed. Get yourself a practice stick and show me.
A sleepy fishing village outside of the Woodwood, a quiet place of the bank of the lazy river where nothing interesting seems to have happened since the founding day. After the battle, one of the soldiers noticed a half-affected effaced inscription of the nearby stone. What remained of the engraving led the Crusaders to a secluded cave where they found a stash of miscellaneous relics that some selfishly devoted clerics had managed to rescue from old fallen Dresden. They also discovered flasks of sanctified oil and boxes of reagents for rituals and sacred masses. It would appear the brave priest hid these sacred artifacts in one final attempt to save them from the demonic threat. The small doll made of grass is tied to the tree with a dark blue ribbon. The three old dolls hanging from the branches, the grass and seaweed bodies are slowly rotting away. Giranua walks through fully around the grove. He pauses in front of a few trees, lingering there for some time. He seems to be examining something carefully. At the sound of your footstep, he turns around absurdly, but the anxious expression of his face quickly gives way to an amiable smile. Commander, it's so good to see you. It seems you found time to visit our quiet backwater after all. I could be mistaken, but it looks like you were frightened by my arrival. Oh no, you startled me, that's all. It's my overreactive imagination. I still can't get used to living in such a small village. The town where I grew up was a good deal larger, and it was located near the trade route, so there were always lots of new faces and plenty of people bustling around. Here, though, it's different. The moment you step through the village, you're all alone. You can walk for miles in any direction with only the birds and animals for company. This is of course the way Erastil teaches us to live, but truth be told, it still makes me feel somewhat uncomfortable. Why are you looking at the trees? See for yourself. He points to one of the branches, and amongst the leaves you notice a small doll made of grass and seaweed tied with a blue ribbon. I keep finding them here in a grove. I think it's some kind of local ritual. I've asked the villagers to tell me what it means, but they won't give me the answer. I just don't understand the reason for all of this secrecy. How do you like living in a village? I'm getting used to the way of things. I still get the occasional sidelong glance from the locals, but that's not surprising. After all, I'm just some stranger who decided to show up without an invitation and settle down in the village. But the church warned us about things like this. Such a caution is to be expected at first. I just have to do my best to earn their trust. I heal, I purify the water, I give blessings. Sooner or later they will accept me as one of their own. It's so quiet here. War makes you forget what peace feels like. I understand. My time in Canabres gave me a small taste of war. I only had to live through it for a few days, but I know the horrors I witnessed will haunt me in my nightmares for years to come. I cannot imagine how hard it is for those like yourselves, soldiers who have given their lives to this cause. The priest places a hand on his heart. You have chosen to fight here in order to protect our peaceful and quiet life here, and I thank you for that from the bottom of my heart. Well, what do the locals feel or Russell? They are indifferent. They are pragmatic people. You know, they don't have time for theology. If old Deadeye helps them survive, that's good enough for them. You know, some priests get overzealous with sermons. They demand that people pray, observe all rituals, make sacrifices, and then those priests, all holy and pious, are surprised when the flock kicks them out of the village, right into the nearest ditch. The priest laughs. I was taught differently. First you have to prove your worth. You have to show them why you and your deity are useful. It's only after that they begin to trust you and start asking questions about your faith. That can really share your beliefs. Then you can tell them all about Old Deadeye and his teachings. Well then, will you show me around the village? Of course. Let's go. You get to meet the locals to see how we live. Maybe you'll even manage to get some peace and quiet, temporary respite from the hardship of war. Don't be offended if they start growling at you. In this remote village, people have never seen someone of your kind before. Your horns are a real novelty from them, but I have already told them about you and explained everything as best I could.
We march ahead. Leads on.
That will teach you to mess with us. A man with green eyes, the broad shoulders of a swimmer, and the callous hands of a fisherman shake his fist at the beast's motionless carcass. Something got them all worked up. That's the second time they've crawled out this month. So let them come. A woman, her eyes the same shade of green as the fisherman, smiles at you. It's not the first time, and I won't be the last. But what's this matter? They can't hurt us, and we can use the hides to make a lot of waterproof coats and cloaks. Markel, Malessa, let me introduce you to someone. This is Kalal Pala, the commander of the crusade. She's the one I told you about. Ah, real hero in our little backwater. It's so nice of you to drop by. We never had anyone so important come to visit. Heroic acts are important, but sometimes it's good to leave the front lines and talk to ordinary people living ordinary lives. Anyway, welcome to Chili Creek. Hydras are usually far more dangerous. The beast was not at its full strength. I can tell you, you have an eye for such things. Well, of course she does. She's the commander of the crusade. She probably could have told you all that with her eyes shut, Melissa smiles at you. It's all thanks to our mother, Icyril. She takes care of her children, won't let anyone hurt them. She fills our nests with fish and drives away the monsters. That's right, and if she doesn't drive the beast away, she awakens them so we can kill them and harvest the hides. Icyril, who is this dot? She's right here. Marco nods towards the river. Did you think she was the Sullen? No. I'll take you half a day rowing before you reach that river. It's big, to be sure, and very important. The Sullen flows through the least of dozen countries. But where would the Great Sullen be if it wasn't fanned by thousands of little streams and creeks such as our Icyril? The people of Chiricli hold the river in great reverence. The priest's observation is matter of fact, but you notice his voice sounds a bit strained. How can we not? Our whole lives we built around the river, from the wedding rift we send down its stream to the funeral boats that float away on the waters when the time comes. Our mother, Icyril, feeds us, gives us water, protects us. With a kind of smile, Markel casts a sidelong glance at the frowning priest. The gods are far away, but our Icyril is right here, so we treat her with respect. The two of you look much alike. I assume you're related. Right, you are. Miracle ruffles Melissa's hair. She laughs and tweaks her nose. She's my little sister. Takes after our granny. May her memory never fade. She was always restless, couldn't sit still. And Melissa is just the same. She's always go up to something. And you took after our grandpa, made the river slit be his thoroughbred. You are as brave as he was, and just as stubborn. You two look very confident when you were giving orders to the other villagers during the fight. Are you in charge here? Well, how I should put this, our village is too small for anyone to be in charge. We just happen to know a thing or two about using a weapon, so if some unasked creature comes crawling out in the river, we give the orders. But when it comes to fishing or fixing nests, we will be ones following orders. We are not an army and there are no officers here. We all live together, solve our problems together, and serve the Icyrils together. All the truth be told, it's only been the last few years that people have really started listening to us. Before that, villagers kept to themselves and no one wanted to go poking their noses in anyone else's business. When we first came up with the idea of starting trading on the river, the other villagers stubbornly dug in their heels, but after money and goods began to flow into the village, they changed their minds. Yes, the village has been growing. We've gotten to see all sorts of things that haven't only ever heard about before. The year before last we had a fair, and people came all the way from Canabris to attend. Then a priest came, and we never seen one of those before in these parts, and now who have thought the commander of the Crusader has decided to pay us a visit. And not just a commander, but King Swan of the lower plains. In another village, people might run away screaming as soon as they spot your horns, but we are not like that. Besides, the priest has explained to us that it's a great gift when a mortal child of fiendish blood overcomes the cursed legacy and fights against the monsters. What other grass doors are hanging from the trees in the grove? A shadow passes over Merkel's face and he looks away. There's nothing much to tell really, an old local custom. It's just a ritual, Melissa adds in a lower voice. No one seems willing to share any further details with you. How is life in the village, now that you've got a priest? Not much has changed, Milker shrugs and smiles ambitly. He is a good lad. He does some healing, never bothers us with sermons. Why, he's even learning to fish in his spare time. He also knows a lot of songs, and when he sings, it makes you want to sit and listen. Melissa smiles archly at the priest, and he blushes. The Waldwood is not far away. Have you ever been attacked by demons? No, we've never seen any. Our mother Icy keeps us safe. She would never let such abomination get near us. Back to the front, Melissa shakes it sadly. I can't even imagine the nightmarish creatures you have to fight there. Have a safe journey and a swift victory.
I will guide us.
This was simple enough. I will help where I can.
Without a doubt. Forwards.
Call me again if you need to.
We march ahead. Our path leads on. I will guide us. Without a doubt.
They will break against our resolve.
Na, Aeon, Orma.
Grunt.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
You won't survive me.
Attack!
Fall! Retreat is not an option.
No reason to pause. I
refuse to accept their statement.
Endure this!
You're irrelevant.
Into the fray!
Kneel before me.
I will bring down the divine wrath!
We shall overcome.
Make every strike count.
You should have listened to reason.
The light! Take you!
Our time has come.
Together we stand.
We won't fall
Follow
here.
my counsel.
I swear it.
Wise.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel. You won't survive me.
Do not hold back.
This one's mine.
Aborane sentence.
Esme, Axel, yes.
Amranda Gratio.
Endure this!
Strike as one.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Press the attack.
Eternal Rose, I call upon you!
Nice try. Didn't work, though.
Make every strike count.
forwards. We march ahead.
Alright, Ember, try to explain it one more time. Imagine the gods are your best friends. One of them even helped you out in a difficult situation, saved you like the knight who pulled out of the pyre. Now imagine that somebody's always going around insulting your friends. But gods aren't your friends, and they never will be. They don't save anyone, all they do is lie. The unknown ruins that currently remain seem to date back to this time of Sarcosis is one of the few places that has not changed since the opening of the World Wound.
Close ranks.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
It seems I've made a mistake.
Begone, fiend!
You won't survive me.
No glory without risk!
Retreat is not an option.
Fall!
Hold on. Just a little more.
Endure this!
Into the fray!
Kneel before me.
I will bring down the divine wrath!
Mind over muscle.
Make every strike count.
Attack!
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
This one's mine.
Смотрите, Туриnos.
I'll remove this obstacle.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
What is it?
We shall
Okay,
overcome.
I'm finished this battle and just shovel
The
it.
light take you!
Press the attack.
Eternal Rose, I call upon you!